It's a new season. Thursday, January 14th at 12 noon Central Standard Time will be the first segment of 2021. It's going to be on a special date. That's right. Please take note of the date change for this segment only. It is on this date that I will highlight a powerful brother sister media producer combo in the persons of Howard Gibson and Christelle Gibson of Dim Gibson's Films. You've probably heard of them. Well, guess what? Their latest project, Double Cross, will debut on various TV outlets on January 14th. Plan to listen in as we talk about this project and their life journey through the media world. It's going to blow your mind. Join the Get Caught Internet Experience 2021. We will see you soon.
You are now tuned in to Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette, where your host, Annette Harris, analyze intriguing life questions and concerns, such as, do Christians suffer from mental illness? Have you wondered why they act abnormal? Or you may ask, what is really going on in their minds? Do you need a net? Well, keep listening for a biblical understanding of the psychology of the mind.
Hey guys, welcome to another wonderful session of Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. Get Caught in the Net Experience 2021. I'm your host, Annette Harris. Thank you so much for joining us on today, for watching and or listening. I am so excited. Listen, we are 14 days into the new year, but this is our first session of the new year. So I want to say happy anniversary. Happy New Year. Well, if anybody has an anniversary out there today, happy anniversary to you too. But happy New Year, everyone. I feel like I have been gone for like forever. We just took a few weeks off, ending the year of 2020 and coming into the beginning of 2021. A girl needs a break every once in a while, guys. I need a break. So there are a lot of things that are going on, that are happening, and you guys just stay tuned. I'm telling you, the Get Caught in the Experience is going to be real on this year. So I don't want you to miss a thing. I'm working on some things in the background, some things the Lord is directing me to do. So I'm excited because there are new things that are happening, and I just can't wait for all of you to discover what that is and to be involved with me with what that is. So, of course, you know what I always like to do before I get started doing a session, a show. I always like to acknowledge the Lord in prayer. And so I'm going to do just that. Lord, I thank you for this wonderful day. I thank you for blessing us to see a new year. We thank you for how you are and who you are. We ask that you would get the glory out of this session and everything we go to say and do. In Jesus' name we pray. And the opening scripture that I normally like to quote is the first part of Hosea 4:6. And it states, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. And again, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited that you're here with me. Many of you guys had me cracking up. You were thrown off because of the day. Yes, this is a special session, a special segment of Mind, Body, and Soul on today. I'm normally on Wednesdays. Yes, that is accurate. Wednesdays at 12 noon is my normal time that I air live. But I actually changed the day for this session only because I was trying to accommodate my guests on today. So I'm going to talk actually until they get here, until they come on into the live feed. But I'm excited. We went through through an entire lot as a country, as a nation on last year in 2020, and it seems as we're still going through some things, but I am encouraged and I'm excited because you know what? Even though we've gone through things, God has not left us. And he has actually blessed us to even see this day, this hour in the day. And I don't take it for granted, which means to me that there are still more things that he wants to do with us and through us because we are here. And so that's why I'm excited. My hope is not in man. My hope is in the Lord. So I'm going to go over here real quick. I'm doing some sharing as I'm talking, and I want to see who is on here with me because I want to recognize you guys, and I haven't seen y'all since last year. Or looked at your name since last year. And so, oh, well, let's see here. I think okay, here we go. Deatrice is here. Hey, Deatrice, good afternoon. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate you. Hey, Triplet. Trip's in the house. Hey, D. How are you, my friend? Thanks for coming in and joining us on today. Listen, Gail, I see you. Hey, Missionary Carolyn, how are you? I'm not going to call you your other nickname. How are you? Thanks for watching, my sweet. Those are my girls. Those Gerald girls, those are my girls right there. All of them. I love them to life. But anyway, there are more names on here, so or more views on here. So if you can maybe type in who you are, that way I can recognize you because I can't see the name. Gail Reed Thomas, how are you? Thanks for watching, dear. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on in. I appreciate it. Yeah, guys, I'm excited. I do want to let you know that when you come into this live feed, click that share button. What's my motto? It costs you nothing. Zero. It doesn't cost you anything. Just click the share button. That way you'll help me pushing this live feed out, and then others will know that we are on as well. And hey, Siobhan, how are you, sweetie? Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us on today. So, of course, we are here on our Facebook Live page, Annette Get Caught in Annette. And then we are, the audio portion is live on my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Click the subscribe button, go to YouTube, type in Get Caught in Annette. Click subscribe. You will hear the audio portion there on today. And then at the end of the show, we're going to upload the video portion. So I see you. I see you, Gail. Thank you. Mr. Gibson, I see you on the live, but can you actually log into the Zoom link, if you would not mind, Mr. Gibson? We're waiting on you and your sister. My viewers are waiting on you all to come on into the Zoom link. Let's see. Who else did I see? You need a fresh link? Okay, Mr. Gibson, what I'm going to do, can I inbox you the fresh link? How about I do that? I'm going to inbox you the fresh link right now while we have you on, because I don't want my listeners to miss you. They are so excited. I am so excited, Mr. Gibson, to have you on. So let me do this while I have you. And we're going to make sure we get this link to you. Brandy, I see you. She says she's so excited about this show. And I am excited too, Brand. I am. Okay. Let's see. I'm doing this all on the fly, guys. Doing it all on the fly. But you know what? I love what I do. I love coming in and talking to you guys. I love having my show. And let's see here. Let's do this. Okay. We'll get him in a few seconds, guys. We're going to get him in a few seconds. But yeah, this is exciting because, again, like I said, it's a new year. It is, it's a new season. It's a new opportunity for the Lord to bless. And so, like I said earlier, I am looking forward to what God is going to do, what his moving I said he left us here for a reason, guys. He really did. And we don't want to take any of that for granted. So we need to be about our Father's business. All right. We need to be about our Father's business. I see more of you coming in. Hey, Nicole, thanks for watching. I appreciate you also on today. And let's see here. You guys make sure you click that share button. Click the share button. And then we will make sure that everyone else knows about this. Mr. Gibson, let's see. I think you are coming in now. Okay. All right. So as they're coming in, guys, yes.
Hi.
I see them. Hi, they made it. Yay. Hi. Listen, how do you pronounce your first? Is it Crystal or Christelle?
You can call me Crystal. It's either one. Crystal's fine.
Okay.
I answered to both.
Do you?
Yeah.
I was talking on my promo and I said, I heard myself say Christelle just because of the way it's spelled. And I don't know if that's how she pronounces it though.
Yeah, it's Crystal, but it doesn't. I answered to both of them.
Okay. Well, I don't want to disrespect anybody's name. That's why I always ask. So, but no, this is great. This is great stuff. So you guys are here now. I'm so excited. Let me do a gallery view here and we will see Mr. Gibson also. How are you, Mr. Gibson?
Okay, I'm good. Hello.
Good. Well, I'm Annette. Now, this is different because typically I would talk to my guests prior to the show. But so I'm just now meeting you guys. And may I say before I get into anything, I've just learned about the two of you, but I am so proud of both of you. My brother and my sister. I really am. I'm very proud of the both of you and your accomplishments thus far. Because when I saw the advertisement and I said, oh, is this a new series? But this is the second season of this particular one we're going to talk about on today. But then I'm looking at your bios. I'm like, they've been around for a long time and they've been doing some work. They've been putting in work. So we're going to get into that on today, guys. And I'm so excited that you are here, that you are joining us. We'll also be interacting with our Facebook Live comments and or questions, because I know a lot of them said they had questions for you because they're excited about you as well and your journey and also your series. Now, let me say this, that on today, if I'm not mistaken, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, the 14th is the debut of the second season. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. The second season, you guys probably talking about of what? Double Cross is the series name, everyone. And so that's debuting today on various TV outlets. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that because they're trying to push and promote this. And I want to do what I can to help them push and promote it as well. So let's see, guys, what I want to see if you can do. And thanks, guys, for tagging individuals in the live feed. I appreciate that if you would do that. And also, again, share the live feed. Listen, I would love for both of you, if you could take time and introduce yourselves to my viewers and my listeners. Some of them have heard of your projects and some of them have not. So some of you may be introducing and or reintroducing yourselves to. So I don't know who wants to go first.
Howard.
Howard Gibson. I've been a filmmaker for quite some time since I got into the business, especially in 1992. So it's been a long time, a long journey to get to this point. So here I am.
As modest as he is. And I don't know if I should go take time and read that book that I received.
I've done a lot. No, yeah, I started in music videos and PAing on film sets. And sorry, it's my mom calling me, right? I think she's looking on the feed.
But, she just called me too.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been doing that for many, many years, and I just kind of slowly pull myself up the ranks, coming into the camera departments. I became the first Black Steadicam operator in 1994, and I heard about it, and I saw it, and saw that it was a new technology helping out to advance the movements and create quality. And so I wanted to do that, and so I was fortunate enough to get into the UCLA film program up in Maine and learned and got certified and came back down and hit the ground running, and because I was the only Black guy in it doing it and I was young, my name kind of got out there quickly, and I started finding myself into music videos and commercials for many, many years, and that kind of dried up and dried out. Did straight to DVD films, produced them and wrote and directed them back in the late '90s. I did my first one, Guilty by Association, with Morgan Freeman, and that went straight to DVD. Lionsgate, you check it out. It was Artisan back then, but Lionsgate Entertainment, and and just kept working. Just kept working. My sister and I initially, worked together in the beginning, doing projects together, and then I went one way, doing music videos, and Crystal raised the family and started writing books down the stretch. So about 5 or 6 years ago, when Crystal was writing the books, I was working with the Wayans at that time and doing some work with them, Marlon Wayans, and Crystal had released her book that same time, right? I think it was around that same time.
Mm-hmm.
We did a big tour around, and then Crystal was like, "I'm going to get in the movie business. I'm going to get back in." And we were hanging out, and she hit that bug with the red carpet. I remember you were right there with Floyd Mayweather and who was it? Who was there? It was like right there. It was crazy.
God, Lisa Ray, boy, just yeah.
Everybody was there. We had a really good time, and Crystal, Crystal said, I want to get back into it, and I said, yeah, let's do it. And over the course of the time, she just started developing a career, start doing that. While I was actually at that time, let's call it 5 or 6 years ago, I was more into technology, understanding the new wave of filmmaking, the new wave of monetizing content, and so I was in it. So really early, I was in it when it came to mobile, when it came to streaming, and so when it came to AI, intelligence, and subscription models. So I know all about AVOD, SVODs, and everything else you can imagine. And so now we're here. This is the streaming channel, and I saw the writing on the wall. We were prepared, and when they called, when the opportunity came to it, we were there, and we stood the occasion. And now with new All Black Networks, Double Cross is officially released today, and we're excited about it. And season 1 came out. It was pretty cool. Season 1 came out, I guess 2020 April, and everybody was home. The pandemic hit, and we didn't know what to expect. And episode 1 blew up. It was one of those things where Crystal and I were sitting back. We didn't know how people were going to relate to it. And I started looking at social media. We're talking to the network, and they started promoting, and they did a couple of clips. And once they put those clips out, I think the first few hours, I called my sister and said, I think we got 400,000. I don't know if that's regular, Crystal.
Yeah, he's like, I think we're going viral.
I think we're going viral. And then by that next morning, we were over 2 million. And then every single day after that, it was 1 million every day. So we were hitting 1 million streams across the board every day. By the middle of episode 3, we were well over 19, 20 million across the stream. We had already hit #1 across the streaming billboards, outweighing Netflix and Michelle Obama's release, because she released the same day as us. So when we saw that, we were like, what? And it just hit. It kept going and going and going. And by the end of the finale, Double Cross had taken UMC 200% increase in subscription model. We went across the board. Amazon, we broke records in Amazon Prime, Apple Plus, and the mainstream Hollywood reached out to the network. I remember Hollywood Reporter reaching out, saying, I never even heard of UMC before. And
yeah, it was another one. It was another one too, who had never even heard of UMC.
So many. Oh.
And this was like white Hollywood, and they had never heard of UMC. They didn't hear of us, but they saw the show. I think of one of their wives.
Right.
And she was like, you have to get them on. And they called the network looking for us, and we did an interview.
Found us. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was like a mainstream blog. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So since that time, you'll see us right now on People Magazine. We'll be on Essence and Variety, Deadline, and a number of others that are coming out.
Hollywood Reporter.
Hollywood Reporter. You'll start seeing big posts We have some billboards coming out across the country. Los Angeles, we've got Sunset and Doheny, these big two boards that'll be out there, 15, 20 feet tall on both sides of the street. We've got New York City, we've got Chicago, Dallas, and Atlanta. So we're excited that, All Black Network is excited about us, and we're growing this network with them. And Bob Johnson, he's the mastermind behind it. He's a gracious giant, and he's definitely helping us out in a major way. So we are excited today of the release of January 14th.
14.
It has been long, and it's just amazing the type of concentration that we had to put in and the speed, because we didn't find out that we had season 3. I guess it was like episode 3 when they called us and they said, "Listen, we got to figure this
for
out."
season 2.
Season 2, yeah, we got the call because normally contracts say we'll look at the end of the show, then we will review it, we'll go to board, and then we'll figure out if we want it. Episode 3, they pick up the phone like, how fast can you write? How fast can you go?
Can I say something, Mr. Gibson? You started saying season 3. Maybe are you speaking that into existence already?
Well,
No.
yeah. So let me go back. So it was episode 3 when we got the call for the green light of episode 2.
Season 2.
Right.
Yes, season 2.
I thought you just
now-
said something. That's all.
So now season 3. Yeah. So later down the line, we'll talk about that.
We have to officially, we have to
Officially
officially
said anything. Yeah.
until
that's
they.
Okay.
We're writing.
Okay. All right. So somebody must be getting ready for something. That's what I think. But this is wonderful. I love it. Now let me back it up. I know we have a few questions, but I want to ask you real quick. Now, when you mentioned about the first season and how everything just took off, and the followers, the viewers were just way out the box. Why do you think that was?
You want my honest answer? God put his hand on it, blessed and highly favored. It was in the middle of the pandemic. So we released in May into June. Our finale was in June. Everybody was home. But yet and still, there are other shows that released at the same time, and they didn't do what we did. So I can only surmise that God put his hand on it, because we were completely taken aback. We weren't ready. We were like, wait a second.
Right.
This thing just went viral. Never in our wildest thoughts. That's why I believe that you should always trust God's plan. Because if you had asked me to do it, I would have never have thought to do something like that. It wasn't even in my brain to do that. But God's plans are always the best plan.
Yeah. Perfect answer. And I believe that about you. Now speaking of you, Crystal, I understand that how you got started into even producing, and you began young. I think you wrote something. Was it a
Trail of Tears?
Yeah. When you were on 20 or something like that?
Yeah, I wrote my first screenplay just to see if I could do it. I didn't really know what I was doing. I wasn't tell people that. But I was like, let me see if I could do it. The confidence that I had was that I knew how to tell a story, but I never put it in a screenplay format, and so I didn't know what it was going to do. But the industry took to it. My brother was able to get it into the hands of some producers, and from there, it was just like this huge domino effect to where Warner Brothers was calling us, and Howard and I we went out to LA and met with Alan Wertheim, and we were on the Warner Brothers lot. And I remember, we were just in awe, right? Because it was our first time being there. We were there together. Our parents weren't with us. They sent us out there. Like our dad had us a car rental, set us up. And, we're on the Warner Brothers lot. And it's like, oh my gosh. And then we walked into his office, And I remember there being just this huge wall of scripts behind his desk. But my script was sitting on his desk. And I thought, how did I make it past all of these scripts? And he took us out to breakfast, and we had a meeting. And he looked at me. He was like, "You don't even know what you wrote, do you?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I wrote a script." He's like, "No, you wrote something epic." And I was like, "I did," And he was making offers to us back then, predicated. We wrote another screenplay first. Like, they were trying to line us up. They told us it was marketable. We told them our aspirations of directing, but that deal still wasn't so comfortable for me. Then Disney offered for me to be in their writers college, and I was so excited to take that offer, but I wasn't reading the fine print, which my father was, and he was like, you sign this contract and you go to their school, they're gonna own your projects for so many years. He was like, don't take that. So I turned that down. And then from there, Phylicia Rashad reached out to us, and we met with her and Richard Roundtree and Al Freeman Jr. and Sally Richardson. Okay. They were filming this movie called When We Were Colored, and they invited Howard and myself down. And, they kind of like sat at a round table with us. And I remember they were breaking the script down, and they're like, I like what you did with this character. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't realize at that time the talent for writing that I had. And so everybody else could see it, but I couldn't necessarily see it because I just wrote, but apparently I did it correctly. And then Chief Wilma Mankiller, she was the chief of the Cherokee Nation.
Sure.
Contact us, and that was the most nervous conversation because Howard and I are Cherokee, Black Indian, and we actually had an ancestor that walked on the Trail of Tears. But I thought for sure Chief Wilma Mankiller was going to tell us, well, you guys don't have any right to write this because you're not full blood. Like, I didn't know, but she actually loved it.
Racist.
She loved the screenplay, and she was like, when you're ready to shoot it, contact. And she's passed away by now. She's passed away, so rest in peace. But she was like, when you guys are ready to do this, like, contact the Cherokee Nation, So all of these things were happening around that. And when I really started to realize the gravity of it, I kind of backed away from it. Because I'm like, these people don't know that I just wrote it just to see if I could write. You know what I mean? So I wasn't ready at that time, and I backed away. And I was still working on projects until I was 8 months pregnant. And I remember Howard was shooting the film with Morgan Freeman, Guilty by Association. And I was on set, and I'm literally 8 months pregnant, and I'm bumping into stuff. I'm tripping up, and the crew was like, "Oh my God," And Howard looked at me and was like, "Go home." I was like, "I don't want to go." He was like, "You cannot be here right now." And so I cried. You're pregnant, you cry so much anyway. And then I drove. I was crying again. And I was like, it's not fair. They're all on set and I have to go home. But I just went on with my life with my husband and my children. And I did that for many years, just being a stay-at-home mom. Until I got that burning desire. I'm like, I'm more than just this. This is great, being a mom, but I have to tell stories. I have to write. And so once I had that revelation, I went full force. And so here I am.
Now, what year was that revelation when you were like, I need to get back into this?
I had met with Phylicia Rashad. So I was doing a red carpet for this YouTube station called Mad Flavor TV. And I remember Malik called me and he was like, Phylicia Rashad's in town at the Black Caucus. We need to go do a red carpet. And so I was like, okay, let's go. I haven't seen Phylicia Rashad in 20 years, And I was like, yeah, I got to go talk to her. So we went to this press room, and it was like CNN, NBC, ABC, all these big stations. And here we are, this little YouTube station. And she was interviewing with someone sitting down. And I told Malik, I said, as soon as that dude gets up, I'm running. I was in stilettos and everything. And I darted past everybody, and I sat down. And, I said to her, I was like, hi. I was like, you might not remember me. We met 20 years ago. And she was like, we did. And I was like, yeah. I said, I wrote a screenplay on Black Indians. And she patted my leg. She said, and your name is Crystal Gibson. And the name of your screenplay is Trail of Tears. And I was like, you remember me? She was like, yes.
Wow.
So she gave me this big hug. She was like, how's Howard? How's your dad? And she's, asking all these questions. And she's asking me, what am I doing now? And I told her that I was writing, but I wasn't, back into the film part of it. And, I told her it's been so hard. And she looked at me and she said, it's been hard for all of us, but you mustn't give up. In that Felicia Rashad way. And then she was like, excuse me for a moment. So she stood up and she told everybody in the room, she said, I need everybody's attention. And she was like, this young woman's name is Crystal Gibson. And she's one of the most talented writers I know. And I need you to remember her name because you'll be hearing from her soon. And then she sat back down, right? And I'm like, tears coming down my eyes. I'm like, oh, that's a lot of pressure. She done told CNN. Like, I'm one of the most talented writers she knows. She's only, read that one script. And she grabbed my hand and she just told the room that she needs a minute. And she said, I know you've been on a journey. And I know it's been hard. But you have got to keep pushing. And what you need to be doing is writing screenplays. That's what you need to do. So I was like, okay. She's like, I'm telling you, Crystal, write screenplay. Get back out there. She said, get Trail of Tears done. Tell Howard, get Trail of Tears done. She said, now you have Netflix and Amazon. She said, you have so many more platforms and you can tell more of the story. And she said, when you get this, no, she said, when you're ready to do Trail of Tears, call me. That's what she said. So I said, I don't have your number. I need your phone number. She said, I'm not going to give you my phone number because if you set yourself up properly, you don't need my phone number. You'll be able to get in contact with me. And I was like, wow. Because she was pressing me to go do it. She wasn't going to give me her phone number right there. She's like, no, you go out there, you do it. You set yourself up properly. If you set yourself up properly, and now we have a team of people we have next, they know how to call me.
Yep.
And right now, I could get Felicia Rashad on the phone if I wanted to,
Right.
because I'm set up properly to do that.
That's right.
I love this. I love it. So, I mean, I love her spirit because she loves to pay it forward. She really does. And so I could hear her as you were saying, what you do. So
you mustn't give up.
Right. There you go. I love it. Now, I want to give a shout out. We have to give a shout out to your father, right? Because I believe this is where that blood comes from for the both of you, right?
Right.
So talk about him. Talk about Dad. I mean, I believe he got you started.
Shout out to both Mom and Dad, Dan and Bash. They were very instrumental in a number of fashions. One, I think about it when I sit back and look at it. My dad he's a builder, so he creates. He does his own architectural designs, and he'll go out and build it, and it'll be incredible. My dad builds churches. We've seen him build everything, big houses from scratch. I just grew up looking at him, looking at gravel, and I come back a couple months later, it's a whole house. So, you know what I'm saying? And it's a nice looking house, and he put in a lot of hard work, and he documented all that stuff. He had the camera, he would set up his tripod and all that kind of stuff and shoot himself. And this is many, many years in film. My dad was working with 8mm 16 and then into video. And so that love resonates into me. I mean, I'm the same way. I love design, I love building, I love infrastructure. My mom is a natural born entrepreneur. And she'll start you a program. She'll start you some sort of business model in a moment's notice, And she's the first lady at church, and every new program, cut in food banks. I mean, our church started expanding incredibly, and that again culminated into all the things to who we are today. That's the way we think. We think about growth in family, growth in community. And we build like that. We build like we're a church. We build in that mentality of community and family. And that's what you're going to get when you come to a Dem Gibson set. I've had people who I worked for 30 years They're on our set. Shout out to Keith L. Smith, our DP. He did Natural Born Killer Any Given Sunday. He came to our set and said, I ain't never been on no set like this before.
Yes, he did.
That's right. And so he's like, this one right here is just like, man, we come home fed. Listen, and then we say, stop. We set up a new system, a new setup. We done turn on old school. We listen to, I don't know, give me some Glass Night in the Pitch right now.
We want that like this.
We setting up the next scene, rocking some old, like this, and that's how we were doing it. And we out there dancing, people on there skateboarding, and people looking around like, what is this? My cousins here, my kids here, my daddy here, and we working. And people like, we really doing a TV show here, this #1 show? Man, this is crazy. And so people love it every time. I please let me come back to you. Please, let's work together again. And so that's the kind of environment it took 29 years to get that, because that's where we started. That was our goal when we were first together, and we were talking about this. I was going to be my sister's guiding light, produce this thing and shoot this thing. And we always told, you going to co-direct? Okay, we're going to co-direct. That was still a thing, right? You gonna direct? I know how to direct. You don't know how to direct. Right. But all of those experiences we have, and we cherish them, and now it's just full circle. Be persistent. Be consistent, y'all. Full circle.
Oh my God, I'm so excited, guys. I am so excited. I love hearing from you. I really do. And I'm going to hop over here to Facebook Live, because you guys have just been throwing in comments, and I don't want to ignore you. I know there are some independent film makers that were very interested in listening to you guys on today. So I know that they have questions for you. So if you guys can go ahead and throw those questions, if you haven't already. I'm going to scroll through any questions or comments that you have for the Gibsons on today. Please do that rather quickly so that we can make sure that we read them and get them out. I see you, Shannon. Thank you for coming on. Tara Smith. Hey, Hughes. Thanks for watching. I appreciate that. She says hello, Crystal and Howard. Let's see. Brandy says, and she's one of the indie artists that I know has questions for you. She says, congratulations. She knows that, she's been highly anticipating this second season is what she said. Okay, wonderful, Brandy. All right.
Is it Tara Smith or Tyra Smith? Is it T-Y?
Tara.
Okay.
Did I pronounce it right?
No, yeah, I thought that was our relative.
Okay.
It's Tara. We talked to Tara. Hey, Tara, how you doing?
Right. Yeah, she was my connection with Apostle Verrill.
That's right.
To get you on today. All right, wonderful. Let's see. Who else do I have here? Greg Owens, thanks for watching. Joe McCord, Brandy D, Trenda Fry, D'Amica is on. Elder McGee, Josh Matoya, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. I do have Elder McGee. He has a show. I air, and let me tell you a little bit about Mind, Body, and Soul. Get caught in that. I air weekly. Typically, I air on a Wednesday from noon to 2, but we had to finagle the days so that we can make sure to get the Jim Gibsons in on today. So that's why we're here on a Thursday. But the premise of the show is to actually talk about really psychological and spiritual aspects of everyday life. So that is one of the questions I am going to throw at you regarding your work and regarding your, all that you do, the psychological aspect, which is another reason why I'd asked you that question earlier. Remember when you were talking about your season kind of sprouting off? I love the response about how the Lord, he does have his hand on you. But I wanted to know, is there's something else that you thought about it? But let me throw that question, since I am already here. And I have like a flood of questions that I know I'm not going to be able to get to today. I understand that. I get it. But let me ask you, as producers, tell me what is the psychology of a producer's mind when you are creating, you're writing your screenplays, Crystal, when you're directing, when you're producing. Tell me the psychology of your mind as you are preparing and as you're getting into this. Really not to have any sort of inhibition, and to just let everything flow naturally. And when we're starting out on
I mean, even with me writing, I don't always know the story. I know the arc of the story, but I don't know the details of it. And I try not to let it pressure me, and I just keep writing until the story comes out. There are times where may get anxiety, especially if I have a story and I'm not able to write it at that time. Like, I'll physically get headaches. It's like all sorts of stuff happens to me until I was like, I gotta get the story off me, and then I'll write it down. There are times even within a story, it used to happen to me all the time, but it doesn't anymore. But if I'm writing a feature film and I know that climax is going to hit on page 70, I would get like such bad anxiety. Like, my mind would I would like fall apart, and I would get on the phone with our producer Tasha, and I would say, sooner or later, everyone's going to figure out I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. I would have like total breakdowns, and until I started just writing more and more, and then once I got to page 70, I would have more confidence, because that's the pivotal point in a screenplay. You do all this writing for page 70. So it would have some sort of psychological effect, but I've gotten better since that time, and but still, I don't know what's going to happen. I'll just write it, but I try not to have any inhibitions at all.
I love it. Okay. And that's definitely a good way to be. I mean, even with anything that you're doing in life, you know what I mean? Because we're always second guessing ourselves, whether we realize it or not, whether we own up to it or not. We're always second guessing. You're doing something that you love to do, and a lot of times that God is calling you to do, but you're like, well, should I really do that? Like you say, you call up they gotta fly that. I don't really know.
Because I don't walk around and say I'm the best writer ever, and I always know what I'm doing. That's a crock. No, I don't. I don't walk around like that. But I've gotten confident in the fact that I'm able to tell a story, and once I get to the end of the script, I simply say it's something that I like to see, and that is all I got. Okay. And I because that keeps you humble as well, because I'll have writers approach me and they're like, I just wrote the screenplay and it's going to be the best and it's going to get Emmys, and maybe it will, right? And speaking into existence, I don't know. But, until you pass that screenplay off and get an opinion from someone that matters, you really don't know what you did. Your mama opinion don't matter, because she's going to tell you did great. You know what I mean? But once you start giving to the executive producers, and then they start saying, if you have some talent, or you would have, and so I'm constantly being told that, but I still keep everything in its perspective. I know that God has given me a gift. I do know that I'm using it. When I get to heaven and God is like, what did you do with your gift? I'm like, okay, this is what I did with my gift, God. And I help people, and I do, and so I really, I'm grateful to the position that I am, that I'm in right now, my brother and I. But, I have confidence, but I'm humble. And you should always stay humble with these gifts that God has given you.
Love it. Yeah, Mr. Gibson, you want to tackle that question?
Stay humble, stay focused. Really, there's a lot of challenges that come on in life in general. So when you're talking about trying to recreate a life story and try to keep that cohesive in the midst of your craziness or not, and trying to tell this story, it's tough. It's tough for a lot of people in how to actually get a movie done. And there's various phases of, filmmaking. You can have an idea in your head. That's where it starts. Then you write a script. Then you have to be ready to take that script and let it go a little bit, because it's going to get in hands like me, and I'm going to read it. I'm going to chop it down. I'm going to chop it all the way down, and I'm going to look at it, because the way I see it, it has to be something I can actually really produce, and I can really, and it's touching the market, and it's not your own personal feelings inside of it and just everything, because we're going to give you notes. We're going to take it down. We're going to wash it through. We're going to do a whole bunch of stuff. And at the end, hopefully your script is still in one tack when it comes. And so that's a good process, but be willing to do that when you're trying to take that screenplay and that idea from out of your hands and into a professional's hands to get it done. So then you got to get through that level. A lot of people don't even go past that phase. Okay. You know, they have personal feelings about their scripts and everything else. And, you know, it's just like, don't read it because copyrights and that one little part, and it'll stop you. So
that's a psychological effect. That's
one psychological, right? So you have to be confident enough, and you have to know that you have to find the core of that story or the theme of that story. So you have to understand that once it gets in other people's hands, they're gonna see it from a different perspective, and those are the people who can help you follow through with it. So now you have to compromise. So you got to get your mental health straight when you come into this business. You can't get into your feelings. This is a business, and we're talking about millions. And I tell Chris all the time, when we're gonna get behind something, we're putting our life source into this. This thing takes up. It's hard to get these things going. It takes a lot of work, dedication, and focus. And when I focus on this thing, I see nothing else.
Right.
Tunnel vision is good in this way.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to reach the goal, and Crystal going to reach the goal, and we're going to get there no matter what. There's no obstacles that's going to stop us from making these things happen. We're going to face the challenges, and we know that they're going to come. So just know, coming into this, get your health, get your wealth straight. Talk to yourself a lot. Remind yourself what you're trying to do. Don't worry about trying to get that from somebody else. Get your source straight. Mm-hmm. Talk to yourself. Get yourself straight. Pray yourself up every day. Crystal and I pray ourselves through this thing all the way. Every single day, I can't tell you, we in this big old building, 110,000 square feet of facility, millions of dollars worth of sets sitting around us. And I'm walking here and saying, we are the EPs here? This Crystal
like,
on this?
How did we get here?
Like, we paying checks. People chasing us down. Is either Crystal gonna write a check or I'm gonna write a check. And I'm like, what? You know, and I look at this, nothing but gratefulness, nothing but warm heart. You know, I don't have anything. I'm just tunnel vision to God's movement for us. And God's movement for us spills out to other people. The abundance flows over. So I understand that. So when you have the right heart and mind and focus, you can accomplish anything. Nothing can stop you. Nothing. If you believe in it. So get yourself right with God. Get yourself right with yourself. You know, don't blame nobody else. Come out of you and project it. Come out of you and project it. Come out of your shell. Manifest it.
I love it. Mr. Howard, you sound like you about to preach and also have a psychology session and everything. I love it. But those are good. I love hearing it because you're helping so many people even just by your talking and while you're encouraging words and telling them what to do. You know, because you got some people that are at impasses. You know, they're at the fork in the road. They don't know which way to go or what to do, and they may been stuck. So to hear this is going to be I already see. Because I see these emoticons going up. They're enjoying hearing what you're saying on today. Let me go here. There is a question here from Brandy. She says, I watched a clip of Mr. Gibson taking a COVID test on set. How would they say the outbreak affected day-to-day life while filming? I'm sorry. Let me back that up. The only reason why I laughed is because of your reaction after you took that test. That's the only reason why I'm laughing. Is okay. I'm sorry. You were like, oh my God.
It was rough.
I can imagine. Oh my God. Okay, let me finish the question. My apologies. How would they say the outbreak affected day-to-day life while filming? Let's go with that question first.
Day-to-day life while filming.
I mean, go ahead, Chris. You want to tackle it?
So I'm not sure if she's asking day-to-day on set or just our day-to-day life. So I'll answer both. Okay. So while we were in LA, when we go to LA to shoot, we normally will rent sort of like mini mansion types of houses. So our team from LA, we can all stay together. But this for season 2, we could not find anything on Airbnb anywhere, and so we ended up in a hotel, and so that kind of affected how we interact with each other. Like when we're filming in any capacity, we're always together, and it's always, after we wrap, we go back to the house and everybody's just together, and somebody's on the couch, somebody's in there cooking, and it's just this big family environment. But this time we went back and we're in hotels and people are down this way and that way. So we weren't together as much as we would have liked. And as well as that being the case on set, because they had different rules now, and you have to be in different zones where the actors are in zone A, but the crew is zone B. It's so weird. Then you have to take a COVID test and I'm not talking about the nose test. I'm talking about an actual computer test to make sure that you understand the rules. And then you have to take a test for each zone.
Wow.
Yeah, no, we had to take a test, and then you get a certificate after you take the test. And then being on set and having to take that test 3 days a week, that affected us because I'm a stickler for wrapping on time. And I would shut the set down, tell us to put the camera down, we're done. Because I understand as the executive producer, you have to be cognizant, because going overtime now means you're dipping into your budget, because now you got to pay these people. And so, you have contingencies in your budget to cover that. But for season 2, we didn't have a choice but to go over, because we had COVID tests in the morning, and we had this maybe we cut the crew down, so maybe it was 50 to 60 of us. But each of those tests takes 15 minutes for the result. And so we couldn't even go in the building. I can't tell you how many hours that pushed us back until all of us were then able. We were meeting on set like at 6 in the morning. And so that pushed us back. And then when you're on set, it's like social distancing. And you're not around each other as much. So it was difficult, but we made it good.
Whew. I can only imagine that, but you all were determined to do what you had to do. But yeah, this COVID thing, this pandemic just really threw a monkey wrench in everything.
Well, we made it through without any COVID cases, so that was a blessing.
Oh, that's a real blessing. No COVID cases?
None.
Fun. And
Zero.
there were friends of mine on other shows, producers calling me up saying, "Man, they shut us down. They shut us down." I'm like, "How are you?" I'm like, "I'm good. I'm good."
They were great.
And they were like, "Wow, it was interesting, But we crafted, we use strategy with operating and how we need to move. We cultivated this story in one location, so we were able to do that. We have multiple sets in one location, so once we're in. We can move to the hospital, to the police precinct, to the various locations, all just walking, within this 100,000 square foot facility. And so, we basically, cocooned ourselves in, and it worked. We only went out for 2 days. One day, we only went to.
Yeah, one day when we were writing for season 2, and we knew we were going to be shooting during COVID. I made the effort to keep us in that facility. So if you see season 2, you may notice that we're not outside a lot like we were on season 1. But we did that on purpose, because we're in this huge facility. It wasn't like a closed space, but so we used the facility as much as we possibly could. Also, another challenge for us is we shoot a show that has a hospital in it, and last year we had all these extras in the background. So you'll notice on season 2, it might be one person. We hope y'all forgive us because it was COVID, so we couldn't.
Right.
We couldn't have all the extras and things like that. But we figured people knew that,
Yeah.
they would forgive us. But that was so weird. It's like we're shooting a hospital scene and there's no patients, and it was just weird. But
let me just say,
about it.
Let me say this: all of Hollywood, you're gonna see the same thing of all those films, because literally we can't do crowd scenes. We can't do a lot of coming together. So a lot of films are having to rewrite themselves and kind of streamline their projects down. But we are working on some other technology that we're going to be able to solve some of those issues. But yeah, definitely, it's like closed sets, essential workers only, no extras. That wasn't essential to them, and we needed it, so we had to figure it out, and we had to, so we moved forward.
Okay. All right. Love it. Love it. Did that impact the morale of your crew and your cast at all?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it did. You think
well,
it did?
well, let me say this. I think it was just a curiosity in the very beginning. Everybody was willing to come back. Some people who was on our team got scared, and they
Well,
fled.
that's true.
Yeah, so that affected us because we
That's
wanted
true.
some of our really good guys and people and our ADs and some of the people, and they were like, I can't. So that impacted us, and we ended up having to hire some folks that we didn't necessarily know. Not that that was bad, but
Yeah, you're right.
So it impacted us. And then,
You're right.
And then once we got there, 2 hours just getting in. I mean, they kicked me out. I had to direct an episode. That was my morning directed episode. They kicked me out. I was outside, but the timing was, they had to limit the time and cut off. And I was like, what?
He wasn't able to take his test, and they sent him off set.
So they sent me off set. I'm having to drive downtown, get in line on a whole nother situation, take my test, wait for the results. It was good. Drive it all the way back. Hours upon hours. So that culminated. Those going into those doors, waiting for hours, having those overtimes, it impacted us, but we didn't stop. It affected our
It's like it affected us somewhat, but it's all of our family on set for the most part.
Oh, good.
And so, like, our kids work on set, our dad is on set, we have cousins on, where everybody's filmmakers. And that was great having my daughters on set with me this year. And they were about it too, And so, but Howard is making a point because some people didn't come back and there was some new people. So then, gosh, you have to start those relationships over again. They have to get to know you.
Skills.
So that part, yeah.
Yeah. Because we had a rhythm. So we have a rhythm. Chris and I have a certain rhythm, and we kind of cultivated certain people around us and how we move. They know how we move. And that little nut of changing up, just that little pivot will change. And it basically gave us hours upon hours having to pick up every single day.
Wow.
Every single day.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Oh, here's a question. I hadn't heard this. Someone said they heard that your series, Double Cross, was actually based on Crystal and Howard's life as twins.
Okay, so we're not twins. We are 14 months apart. I'm older than him. But growing up, yeah.
I don't know why I thought that, but go ahead.
Just because you can see his gray on his face. I got gray up in here too, but I covered it up. Keep it going.
I hear you, sis. I hear you.
But I'm 14 months older than him. But growing up, everybody thought we were twins. So we've always been called twins. And even now, we'll tell people that we're not twins, and they still call us twins. So sometimes we don't correct people. But it is based on our relationship. Now, mind you, Double Cross, they're vigilantes, and they will murder someone to get a child back. We haven't murdered nobody. It's
just loosely based on
that part is just.
But we do kill some situations.
Right. But it's based on our relationship with each other, and the type of bond we have.
Yeah.
Definitely that.
Yeah, and loyalty. I see loyalty in that.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to say something, Mr. Gibson? No?
Bigger than that. Bigger than the loyalty. This is agape. This is unconditional.
I love it. Is it only the two of you? Any more siblings?
Yeah,
we have a sister, Candace Van Buren. She is our baby sister. She is starring in Double Cross this season as Tanya. She's Detective Ryan's wife. So if you watch the episode today, Candace, that's our little sister.
So there's another one there. So now you can say if that's our alter ego, Robin.
Okay.
You can. It's in the same show.
Yes. And then we have an older brother, and our oldest,
Bernard Gibson. Shout out
Bernard
to
Gibson.
Bernard Gibson.
So we all have these talents. Our older brother is the musician of the bunch. He likes to produce music and things like that. So we'll be throwing a couple of his tracks on there for season 3. And so Howard and I are the directors and production. Our baby sister, she's the actress, the singer, and a lyricist. I mean, this child can write a song like nobody's business. It's weird that she has the talent to write a song, but she's not gonna write a script. But I have the talent to write a script, but I'm not gonna write a song. It's like our parents just gave birth to these artists somehow, and neither one of my parents can sing or anything like that.
Really? Oh my goodness, I love it. Family affair. My goodness. Okay,
Yeah.
let me get to this. Jill McCord says, "Love the energy and the stories behind how you got started and continue to thrive." Who says, "Do you have any tips on pre-production work such as shot lists, scheduling, lighting plan, etc.?"
Crystal, Chris, go ahead, Chris, because you're different. You're different. Crystal's a different creation. She don't. My sister don't use no shot list. She don't do any of that. She will pre-production. There's a lot of pre-production there. A lot of pre-production, but
There's a lot of pre-production, but my filmmaking is in my head.
correct.
So I don't, even when I'm writing, I don't do a treatment or an outline unless maybe a network would request that if
Right.
they need it. But it's all like, I don't even need to, by the time I write this treatment, I've had a story. And then it's the same when I go to shoot, it's all in my head. So I don't necessarily have to have a shot list. But if you don't have it all up in here like that, then you make your shot list. And in your pre-production, you do your schedule. We have to have a schedule. It's no way that we could shoot without
That's
that.
really what we go off of, Chris. Yeah. And I want to say this to independent filmmakers. I mean, you have to do all of those things when it's just you, But in this scenario, the shot lists and the schedules, that's deferred to our assistant director, So we give them the script. Yes, we do have it. Did Crystal do it? Not necessarily. She can do her own shot list, and as her directing, she directed her own episodes. I do. I'm different because I come out of music videos and commercials where I just had to make sure I had to tell a whole story in 30 seconds or in 2.5 to 3 minutes. I had to do a whole bunch of stuff there. So my discipline is different. It doesn't say it's good or bad. It's just different. So I do a lot of light planning. I do. So all those things, all those productions, details, I go so far into it, I'll put you to sleep. I'm so detailed about some things,
And my life planning is to simply go to my brother and say, all right, this is what
what
it's
it is. And I go run and do everything. So it's all
like,
good.
I just want it to be like real creepy and dark right here with like a little bit of shadows. He's like, okay. You want to-
Trying to figure it out. As a producer, so those roles, when it comes to pre-production and the level of those, everything happens. Everything. Does Crystal do it? She's doing her part. She's the showrunner. She's writing. She's directing. I want her to keep her mind right there. When it comes to me scheduling, when it comes to lighting and getting equipment there, when it comes to logistics, when it comes to strategy, how to get in and out of here, then you're going to go, that's a Howard question, and I'm going to go do that, and make that happen. Anything story-wise, anything you want to change something, I'm like, don't come to me, go to Crystal,
That's a Crystal question. Or they may come to us, or if it's, things about the budget, that's not a question for either of us.
Either one of us.
Dante.
So we take that
Dante, our producer, we all have lanes. And so if you are in the indie world and you're going to step up into this feature film, it is important that you have a team around you. Because if you try to do all of this by yourself, you're not going to be able to do it properly, and it'll be done sloppily. And so you have to be able to delegate. And if you have to micromanage people, you either need to stop doing that or fire them. Because I'm not going to micromanage anybody. If you don't know how to do your job, you can go. And there have been times where Howard and I had to fire people. That's not pretty. Is not something that we like to do, but we have done it. And if you're running your shift, you have to run a tight ship so that you can have a quality product. But definitely, you get people in place. Your first ADs, you let them do. I don't do schedules. Now I'm going to look at the schedule. If something's not right, then I'll tell you move this and that. But I'm not going to actually do it.
Right.
My first AD is going to do that, or the call sheets in the morning. Um, our second AD is going to do the call sheets in the morning. You know what I mean? We can't do everything, so you do have to have the proper people in place.
Yeah, but you burn yourself out really quickly trying to do that, you know. Yeah, it's a real deal, you know. So just keep going. I mean, try to figure out where your position is. If it's a writer, be a writer. You know, be a writer. Learn the business, but be a writer and try to be good at what you do. Execute that. Don't be a jack of all trades and a master of none. Figure it out. Figure it out. So tell everybody, you know, look, and you don't know for sure. I'm in the midst of discovery. That's all you need to tell them. I'm discovering the whole thing. I'm trying to learn it out. I'm gonna find where I fit in. And I found where I fit in, you know, and I'm good at it. And I like doing
And be great, be awesome at it.
be awesome about it, you know, be awesome and embrace it and go after it and be
And
confident.
and I always tell people, even the ones around me or the younger people on the set and the interns, because I tell you what, when we wrap, these young people surround me like I'm grandma at the funeral kicking wisdom. It's like I'm standing, they're like, so Miss Crystal, well, how do we do this? And, you know, and so I'm like, I'm always, you know, kicking wisdom to them. And I said, you know, be a person that's not easily walked away from.
That's it.
So you have to be of quality. And, you know, you're on that team, be of such value that if you were to get up and walk away, you about to throw a whole monkey wrench in this situation. And so in order for you to do that, you have to master your craft.
Put the
Start
ego
there.
aside, man. Take the ego and put that thing in the closet and don't ever pull it out. Ego yourself. You know, go holler at yourself in the closet. And
Right. You
when you
just
come
put your ego to the side, walk on step with value.
with value, that's it.
Be
Come
valuable.
do your job and do the
Be an
best job
asset.
you can do. And then we're going to see it. We're going to see that asset because we work hard. I mean, I'm the last one standing. I'm still sweeping floors. Okay, I'm still sweeping floors. I close the door. I'm the last one to eat. Every time we eat dinner or lunch, I am making sure I'm the last one there. I'm gonna make sure everybody eat first. I'm gonna sweep up and I'm gonna close the doors. And I'm gonna be
You're going to take the trash out.
I'm gonna take the trash out. And people looked at me like, y'all got the EP doing that?
Yeah. Somebody was like, why is the EP taking the trash out? I was like, because the trash needs to be taken out.
Take it out. I gotta sweep the floor. I need a mop right there.
Yeah.
Let me mop. Let me go get a bucket and mop. I'm gonna put out some more of these little journeys by COVIDs. Y'all gonna see a little more of what we're doing. You know, it's taking me a little time because, you know, I'll be giving away too much in the backgrounds and how the operation is, but I'm going to put it out. You're going to see, I mean, like it's a lot of heavy lifting here. And, you know, and I'm not going to, you know, when I see something that needs to happen, I'm not going to walk away from it. I'm going to make sure it's done, you know, and that's just how it is. And I got crazy ideas, man. Crystal writes something. I say, Crystal, I'm going to do it. And we're going to do it this way. It's like, that's crazy, but we do it.
Because my mind is like, Howard, I want to blow up a building. He's like, all right, this we're going to do. Write it, right? And then I'm going to get this and that and the computer and put it in post and I'll blow it up. It's going to be smoke. Like,
yeah, I'm ready to call the commissioner. I'm ready to call the police department. I got the chief over here. I'm going to block this floor up. I'm going to do this here. Then I'm going to blow up 12th floor. Blow it up. Thank you.
Right. You're ready. You're ready, huh?
I'm crazy enough to write it. He crazy enough to do it.
That's right.
See, that's beautiful. Y'all come together. Y'all work together just like that. I love this. Oh my God, I love it. They're thanking you for your responses on here. Because I know that there are a lot of them that there's some that actually have I believe their red carpet event for their independent film on this year. So I'm excited
Right.
to look forward for their Exquisite Fractures series. That's
Okay.
so we're excited about that. So they're gleaning from you on today. They are definitely gleaning from you. Now, what I want to do, I see Tara Smith, and she put in here a couple times. She wants you all to talk about your workshop that's coming up in March.
Is it March? I thought it was February.
Be in
I don't know.
February.
She may know.
We're still working on that. We're definitely going to give up this kind of information and more in depth into just really how to get your screen from Crystal's vantage point on the writing side, how to get your screenplay greenlit.
Well, what I'm actually going to write is not necessarily that, but how to write a green lightable type of screenplay.
Right.
and we may touch on how to get it green lit. Like we may do some bullets, but we normally do workshops and parts. So for the first workshop, I might not talk about so much as how to get your screenplay greenlit. First of all, you need to write a green lightable screenplay. So we'll talk about doing that. And then when we do the next workshop, like now that you have the screenplay, how do you get it greenlit?
Yeah.
So we'll have bullet points about that. And then we'll also do one on production, directing, all that type of stuff. So yeah, just look out, and Possible Barrel is setting all that up. But first and foremost, you need a screenplay. And y'all listening to me, Facebook, and all these people like, oh, I want to be a filmmaker. The first thing that you must have is a screenplay that is green lightable first.
Period.
Because if you're asking me how to talk to an executive producer, and I tell you that, but you don't even have a screenplay that is prepared, study to show yourself approved. Do everything properly.
In order and in steps. Do not pass go.
Decency and in order.
You cannot get into this game thinking you're going to come up and be smarter than anybody else because you got some friends or some lick to get in. It doesn't work that way at all.
And you independent filmmakers, if you want to venture over now into actually being greenlit, well, now these networks are giving you money, which they will, because there are a lot of streaming channels out here right now, and they are looking, let me tell you, they are looking for that content, and they will give you money. So if you want to get to that part, you cannot come out here willy-nilly with these screenplays written any type of way. And this is me being real with you, or just thinking because you put some words on the paper that this is a properly formatted screenplay. Go to the door when that door opens and walk through there correct, because they will give you this money, but they're not going to give it to you if you're turning over a screenplay that's not done well. It's just not. So that's the first step that you really need to accomplish, and try to master that. It's enough information, enough workshops, it's information on YouTube, and I'm going to talk to you about all of that and the process and what it needs to look like and what your beats need to be in the screenplay, and the age-old formula of boy meets girl. I'm going to tell you that formula always works. And I can speak out a whole bunch of movies with the one TV show in particular right now. I know a lot of you are watching Bridgerton on Netflix. Perfect formula of boy meets girl in that story.
Great structure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Boy meets girl. Boy and girl get to know each other. Boy and girl fall in love. Boy and girl break up. They always have to break up. And then the boy and girl gets back together. Basic formulas. I don't care what type of, it could be a movie about friends and they're not dating, but it's certain formulas that you have to have. And so we're going to talk about that. I'm going to show you what to do, and so that you can jump over into these streaming channels and you can get these budgets and you can get your films made.
Beautiful. And this is going to, you said, is it March or February or
I thought it was February.
Yes, we shoot by March, so it's going to be like middle to late February. I think it will be around now.
Yeah, it should
we
be.
still want some details. Yeah.
Okay. It looks like she put in the comment section, if anyone is interested, they can email, I believe, Apostle Vera. I believe that's her email. From 920 at AOL. So you guys look in the comment section. Tara Smith Hughes did put the comment of how to participate in that workshop. And a correction, thank you, Joe McCord. They have a screening event this year, not a release. So thank you.
Oh, good. Good for you. That's what you do.
Right. All right. That sounds like y'all on the right track, guys.
Yeah.
Let's see. There is another question, and then I want to actually play the spoken word. Brandy says, are the workshops online or in person?
There'll be Zoom online.
for me, there'll be a little bit of both when it comes to different things in the producing realm, more physical stuff. You'll see a lot of Zoom, but then I'm sure that once it gets down and dirty, it'll be something.
Well, yeah, when COVID lifts it, a little too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, we will be online though. It'll be a lot of information, so we'll get that. But no worries if you're not where we are. We'll get online, but we'll be very physical in what we're doing. And then down the stretch, we'll have more of an intern program, and that'll be the next level on other shows, and we'll invite people on to sets and make it happen. If they show us
Value.
Love it. I love it. You guys are just phenomenal. I just appreciate both of you. I'm so glad I met y'all.
Well, thank you.
And I'm not even trying to be a indie independent filmmaker, but I love it. I love the energy that you all are bringing. What I want to do, guys, and I want the Gibsons to hear this as well, there's a spoken word that was penned for today's topic title, and it was penned by Elder Kevin McGee. He does have a show. My show airs at Intellectual Radio. He has a show as well, but he will pen a spoken word on the topic of the day for Mind, Body, and Soul. So I want you guys to take a listen to this, and then we'll be right back.
Sibling rivalry is real, but so is sibling togetherness. And it's that bond that allows brother and sister to grow and flow and become a force of color that no one can handle. Better than Wonder Twin Tower, better than Luke and Leia. Them Gibsons are charting new territory and blazing new paths where no siblings have gone before. Black never cracks, but it also never lacks creativity and the juice to succeed. Beyond possessing power, beyond building an empire, them Gibsons are going global, streaming and beaming content from their mind to your heart. And as this flow drops, so does their latest project, taking media by storm. All other stations and places, people and faces better watch out because they are coming out swinging right cross, left cross, crisscross, double cross. When they get finished, you'll be making the sign of the cross.
Wow, very good.
that was awesome. Come on in, shout out.
Wonderful.
That was-
I want a copy of that.
Okay, we'll get you guys a copy. We'll get you guys a copy. I mean, I can just tell him what my show is going to be about. He doesn't really even have to know like details or anything. He just goes to writing. I'm like, that was perfect.
Yes, I loved it. It made me feel good. Just feel good on this.
Good. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Is there anything else that you want to share with anyone? I know we want to, first, before we leave, let everyone know where we can find Double Cross on today. But anything you want to maybe just, I don't know, you've been inspirational all day on this session. But anything you want to maybe share with anyone just to continue to encourage them, or something you want them to know?
Yeah, I don't want them to give up. And I want them to know, and I say this on most interviews, that please understand that God is your source. And there may be a dream or sort of aspiration or a purpose for you, and you don't know quite how to do it. It is okay. You don't have to know how to do it, because if you sit here and you try to figure out every step, you will quit. So you don't need to know every step. You just need to take a step, and those doors will open for you. And be prepared. Study your craft. You want to be a writer? Go on YouTube, look up videos on writing. Be ready when that door opens. But God is your source. Do not quit, and you'll have to.
Ooh, Mr. Gibson?
Commitment to yourself. I want you to, start getting yourself mentally healthy. It's really, really, really the balance that breaks us or makes us, right? Follow up and follow through is a big deal. Follow through with yourself. Do it. There's no one stopping you to do what you want to do. Nobody. You got 24 hours in that day. If you can't do nothing but you can sleep, get up an hour. And I remember I used to get up in the middle of the night. I felt about something. I would do the work and go back to sleep. That was the only time I had at that moment. And I was doing something for somebody else all that day, but I was giving myself 1 or 2 hours a day. I kept going 1 hour commitment, then 2 hour commitment, then 3 hour commitment, and now it's my life, all me. So I had to walk that all the way, getting into I could sustain myself and then sustain this. And so start there. And it was started when I wasn't ready for it. It didn't look good. None of it looked good.
If you look good, it's okay.
It didn't look good.
It's okay.
But
Please
I had to start.
don't give up.
Commitment.
That's right.
Commitment to yourself. If nobody else believe it, believe you and do it and learn and gain the knowledge and insight and move towards that and go to the next step and learn more. That's how
sometimes you don't even need to tell everybody what you're doing, because someone next to you may like, oh, you ain't gonna be able to do that. You know, those Debbie Downers. Don't tell them nothing.
I'm moving in silence.
Move in silence and keep going. And no, you may not know every step that you need to take to get where you're going. That's okay. But I'm telling you, please listen to me. I'm telling you guys, I was a stay-at-home mom, 6 kids, a kid with special needs. I had stepped out of the film game, and I did not know how I was going to get back into it. I just knew the goals that I wanted to ascertain. And a lot of times when you have those goals and those things pressing, that's God telling you it's already yours. And if you know that, then you won't move in fear. So just keep going. And that's it. We said at the same time. That's it. See which wins.
I love it, guys. I just want to thank both of you so much for taking time. I know it was only supposed to be an hour. We're a little bit over an hour, so I apologize. I don't like to take advantage of individuals' time, but I just wanted to make sure that we were able to get in as much as we could today, although we didn't even scratch the surface, but it's okay. So do one of you want to tell me some of the different TV networks that they can go and find the second season on today of Double Cross?
Yeah, so we are on the All Black Network, which was formerly UMC. So season 2 is streaming on there. You can also get to the All Black Network via Amazon Prime or Apple TV. If you want to get caught up on season 1, it's streaming free right now on Roku. And if you're a member on Amazon Prime and also Apple TV. it's yeah.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere. You know, it's a streaming channel just like Netflix or Hulu. So,
right.
Yeah, go watch it and enjoy.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, many of you, if you have to go back and binge on the first season, do that. You can do that. I'm sure you can find the first season of Double Cross and then make sure you get into the second season. Again, I am so honored to have had you both on today and to give us all the insight that you have given us. And I'm actually going to take a lot of that advice for what I need to do. So thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Yes. And I want to thank all of you that are watching, that are listening, those that have commented, thrown in your questions. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone on today with your questions. So please forgive me, charge it to my head and not my heart. We were just trying to move through on today. But thanks for joining us and for sharing those names that I did not get a chance to call out. Thank you. And if you are just now joining us, you may have to go back, be kind and rewind and listen to it from the beginning. And make sure you support this brother-sister team.
They can follow us on Instagram. I am Crystal Gibson, and Howard's is Howard's Journey. So you can follow us there.
I just shared the link.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, see, y'all syncing. He's typing and you talking it. All right. I love it. Do you all finish each other's like sentences? You were doing it. You were doing it today. You really were. I love it. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you again for joining me for the first session of 2021. And I'm so glad that I brought it in this way. And I want you guys to make sure you go to my website, getcaughtinAnetradio.com. Again, I talked at the beginning, there are a lot of positive things that I'm doing on this year. The Lord has directed me. You're going to see some different sides of Annette on this year. So I want you guys to make sure you keep up with me. Again, go to my website, Get Caught in Annette Radio, and you will be able to see everything. You will not be disappointed. Gibsons, please don't go anywhere. I'm going to do my end, and then I want to talk to you before you leave, if you have time. All right, guys, take care, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.